And we are live. Welcome to another edition of College Football Live Chat. Today we call it Gator Nation. I think we should start calling it Gator Nation just because we're just
Yeah.
two Gator guys who talk about other games and then we still root for our team even though it loses.
Yeah, well, that's why we have to talk about other games.
so so as you guys come here into the live, say hi, and like always, I'll put the link there so you guys can join in the fun. And we have a few games to talk about. How was last week? What was the highlights of last week?
Last week was a kind of an interesting week. So Georgia, they took care of Florida. Sadly, it was close at some point, but they just beat Florida as expected. But then before that game was Ohio State versus Penn State, and that game was really close. But then after in the fourth quarter, in like 30 seconds, so Ohio State just got on a roll and they figured things out. And it was 44-31, so they handled it.
It was close at the beginning, but then
Yeah.
they found a way for sure. Hey, we have Jose. Hello, Jose. Hello, Todd. Thanks for you guys joining us. Again, like always, if you have a team, let us know. And Boris is in the house, like always. We don't know if Chelsea's playing today or not, but we'll put the link here so whoever wants to join us can join us.
All right.
What else happened there?
So TCU stays undefeated. That's important because they're number 7, so
Yes.
they're right there in the playoff race, and they haven't lost yet. And who knows? I for my sake, I'm actually rooting for TCU. They're a fun team to watch.
Yes.
So I hope they stay undefeated. But something else is Notre Dame knocked down Syracuse again,
And that surprised us.
Yeah.
Everybody
picked Syracuse.
Syracuse, yeah.
And we got disappointed. Notre Dame, they've been very random this year. They've beaten some teams, but then they lost to Stanford, who's not good.
And we'll talk about them later. Today they have a chance to do something.
Yes,
We'll see.
yeah, they're one of our feature games. But the biggest surprise, I would say, was Kansas State versus Oklahoma State.
I did not understand that game.
Kansas-
What happened there?
Oklahoma State, they just were not ready. They lost. I don't know if it was
I think
48 to 0. Yeah, ridiculous.
Did they drink the wrong Gatorade? I mean, 0 for Oklahoma State makes no sense.
Yeah, Oklahoma State all year they've had an explosive offense. Their defense has been questionable, but I didn't think Kansas State would be the team to expose that. Like,
I know that was
Wow.
that
And-
was well. Even if their defense was questionable,
Yeah.
what happened to their offense?
yeah,
0 points.
They just didn't show up.
That's ridiculous.
I couldn't believe it. And the Big 12 this year just doesn't make sense, like at all. So
Well, we have Boris already, and we have Matthew. Hello, Matthew. He said he might join us shortly, and Willie from the National Mafia. He said if he wakes up today, he might join us. I don't know live, but he might join us here too. So we may have some good discussion going on here. Yeah, I was very surprised about that game. I could not understand it at all, and I think there was another surprise there.
another surprise.
Louisville didn't.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like from our feature games. But yeah, that was a big surprise. So it was kind of funny last week. All the teams that we were talking about and saying like, oh, watch out for this team, they all just disappointed. For example, Louisville and Wake Forest was close, but then in just the third quarter, Louisville scored 35 points on Wake Forest in just one quarter.
I know.
Wake Forest just completely collapsed. They were number 10, and now they're still ranked, and they're one of our feature games, but they're kind of an afterthought because they just completely
that
blew
was
it.
just I just didn't understand those two games.
We had it on the little TV, and I just kept seeing them score. I'm like, what is going on? Like, they just collapsed.
And then it was interception after interception, and it was crazy.
And then UCF took down Cincinnati, and I was actually I have to give myself a little pat on the back. I was the only person who predicted that.
Yeah.
So UCF has also been a random team, but they were at UCF in Orlando, so I had a feeling they'd win that one.
That put you over 500 with your picks again.
Yeah.
You've been doing very well with your picks there for sure.
Been trying to, but then some games like Kansas State versus Oklahoma State just completely just mess everything up.
College football is hard. It's hard to predict, especially some of those crazy games like that. What else was a highlight in the week? Anything else?
So 2 more things. So Missouri stunned South Carolina. The reason we I'm mentioning that is because South Carolina was ranked. They're on a little run, and we
We're
didn't
doing
say
good.
anything until last week. We were like, "Oh, South Carolina isn't looking too bad," and then they just lose to Missouri. Just very random. There was no reason for them to lose to Missouri.
I didn't get that either. Actually, they were actually on the up and coming, and they just blew it.
Yeah. So the last story of last week was Tennessee just went to town just on Kentucky. Kentucky could not. They beat them 44-6. I was kind of waiting for a team to do that to Kentucky because I don't have problems with Kentucky, but honestly, this whole year they haven't looked the best, and they've still like remained like ranked. So I was looking for a team to finally do that, and Tennessee just they did more than that.
Yeah. And that solidify also, about Tennessee being good, and I think that's what makes the game today with them Tennessee versus Georgia even more important.
That's a big game. We'll get to that in a
if they look funny or weak last week, they would not be in, and some people's they're their favorites today. So all right, well, let's say hi here to Boris real quick, and then we'll get started with the games. How are we today, hey, Boris?
Yeah, we are fine. Hello, everyone.
Did it freeze up? Let me see. Say it again, Boris. I don't think I heard you. Here you go.
Yeah, I'm really good and fine. And I said hello, everyone in the chat room.
All right. Is your team playing today, Chelsea, or any of the European football team?
Chelsea plays tomorrow against Arsenal.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, we're ready here. We're gonna cover some of the games here, and maybe Matthew's gonna join us too. And so let's get going. What we got?
Okay. So the first game is Texas Tech at TCU. TCU is number 7. The reason we're featuring this game is because TCU, they're undefeated, and they're still a very big candidate to go to the playoffs. And the Big 12 is crazy, so you never know if someone's season could be ruined because every week they play each other. It's not like other conferences where they take breaks. Like they play each other every week. So
there's enough teams there to play each other. Yes, that's another thing. Yeah.
Yes. And so for this game, I'm going to go ahead and say, real quick, TCU's favored by 8 points.
Just 8 points.
Just 8 points.
That's surprising.
And they're at home.
They're at TCU. Exactly.
So I've been waiting for TCU to just start off strong and just destroy a team. But what they do is they're usually down at halftime, and then they come back. So I think, I don't know if they'll be down, but I think the game will be close, and then TCU will pull away. But yeah, TCU. I'm going to pick TCU.
Well, this one is one of those that, again, in the book, TCU should win. They're 8-0 now?
Yes.
And Texas Tech is only 4-4. But there's a reason why they only actually, are they 8.5? Yeah, 8.5.
Yeah, I went a little up. But.
I don't know. I think this is a dangerous game for them playing Texas Tech, and I just have a feeling this morning when I was looking at them picking an upset, I'm actually going to pick that as my upset. I think Texas Tech is going to surprise everybody, and the TCU run is going to be over today. It's one of those teams like that usually just messes it up for people.
Yeah,
and so watch out for that game. I mean, I still would like TCU to win, but I'm picking Texas Tech on this one.
All right.
What you got? What's next?
Okay. Wait, Boris is pick.
Oh, let me get Boris here.
Yeah, let's get the other picks.
All right, and then Boris. I'm about to write him here. So, what's your pick on this one, Boris?
I pick TCU. I think it's not respected as it should be. So. The 7 was too low in the rankings. They are way better than that. But okay, that's a big well. Okay, everything can happen, but anything can happen. But
all right. Well, good. Let's have Matthew. Let's add Matthew here. Hello, Matthew. How are you? Let me see if I can put you here on the screen. And Picking and Piping is joining us for the first time. We're happy. How are you, Matthew? Tell us.
I'm doing okay. Thanks. Good. Great to be here. My kids' soccer games are done for the season, and so happy to got to sleep in a little bit this Saturday, and happy to join you guys.
Awesome.
There we go.
So, which one do you like for the Texas Tech and TCU game?
TCU.
Okay, I was like,
TCU. All right.
Yeah.
So we got everybody picking TCU except me. I think it's a dangerous game for TCU, but again, I hope they win. I really hope they win. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. We'll keep you guys on screen here.
All right, the next game is a very big game, the biggest game of the season. People are saying maybe the biggest game of the decade. I think that's a little dramatic, but maybe it's not. It's number 1 Tennessee at number 3 Georgia. Georgia's favored by 9, which is kind of crazy because Tennessee's number 1, but this is a big game. Georgia, they're a very balanced team, and Tennessee, as we know, their offense is just amazing. I want to pick Tennessee. I think they are the better team, but I think Georgia, because they're at home, I think they're going to find a way to win this game. And they've experienced this before. The last couple of years, they've been good. This is the first time Tennessee's number 1 since 1999.
Wow, yeah. Georgia's been here before. I think the nerves can get to Tennessee for sure on this game. Yeah. I'm still going to pick it. I still think Tennessee is going to pull it off. They just haven't looked bad yet. They only look good, and Georgia has looked bad in some of the games, especially with some of the lesser teams. So I'm going with Tennessee for the win. What do you got, Boris?
That's a tough one. Joseph Parsons is absolutely lousy, and I think Hendon can use that for Tennessee, but it's so really hard to win away games. Only top 12 team that has lost in home. I think it's Louisiana, as LSU. So I have to pick Georgia, but
Georgia, good pick.
I wish I'm wrong. So.
Me too. Yeah, I'm going for Tennessee as well. I'm with you, Boris.
All right, Matthew, what do you think of this game? Tell us.
I was thinking the same thing, really. I think it's going to be close. I prefer Tennessee to win. I just have that gut feeling that because Georgia's home, they're going to pull it off.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody's speaking Georgia except me for Tennessee, and of course, if Georgia finds a way to stop Tennessee's offense, then it's over pretty much. I just feel that Tennessee's offense has been amazing, and hopefully they can keep it going, and Georgia won't be able to stop it, and they can come up with a win. But very good pick, guys.
It's gonna come down to that. If Georgia can stop their offense, Tennessee's offense, they can win the game.
It's over.
If Tennessee can do what they want, then they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
We picked Georgia, but I think we're all rooting for Tennessee for that one.
Yeah. I picked Tennessee. I really truly think they're gonna pull it off. But we'll see. We'll get to see that one. That game is at
3:30.
3:30. Wow, man. So definitely looking forward to that one.
Me too.
What do we got next?
So after that is at 7, it's number 6 Alabama at number 10 LSU. That would be the game of the week if it wasn't for Tennessee versus Georgia. And this is another top 10 matchup. LSU has been on fire. They came out of nowhere, really, after they lost to Tennessee. After they got destroyed by Tennessee, I thought they were done, but they've been rolling. Mm-hmm. And even though Alabama, they're favored by 13, I think LSU they're just so motivated right now, and Alabama struggled on the road. So I'm going to do a very risky pick. I'm going to pick LSU to beat Alabama.
Wow, that is a risky
I might be wrong, but...
Well, I'm picking Alabama just based on their coach. I think their coach is definitely picking the things up from their loss. And I think they're just everybody's going to think this is a close game, and Alabama is actually just going to embarrass LSU, and that's my pick. And my pick is Alabama. Boris, what do you think?
Another tough game to pick, but Bama has been Bama defense has been so much worse on their road games. I think they have let 32 points or something like that on the road, and in home games only 7. So that's pretty big difference. I think I pick LSU.
All right,
there we go.
Wow,
it's a tough pick, but
and Matthew, I think I know your pick, but tell us about it.
I do think it might be a close game, and there's definitely some just a better chance for LSU because they're home. That's a tough place to play.
Mhm.
But I think
And it's at night.
Alabama's what?
It's a night
Yeah, it's
game.
at night. Yeah.
No, I just think LSU is a tough place to play.
Oh yeah.
But I still think Alabama's going to pull it off, and I think it'll be a close game. But Alabama's still a much better team. I think it's especially if Bryce Young
Alabama might win, but
better game.
I can't believe that Alabama covers the spread, so it might win. But
Yeah, I think not only are they in LSU or Matthew, but people, is a fact that it's even harder when it's a night game, and some teams have refused. I remember when they were willing and dealing when they canceled the LSU and Gator game, and one of the premises and one of the deals was that they would do this thing only if they did not play at night in LSU. So there's something about playing there at night. I think it has to do with the fans and the environment. So
yeah, I didn't mean to jump in there. I just wanted to put that out that it's at night. That's the reason I picked LSU, just because if it was during the day, I would have picked Alabama. Honestly, it's just something about the night with LSU.
I'm still picking Alabama, but yeah, playing at night in LSU, we went to a game there, and it's just something else.
I'm glad we didn't go at night.
Yeah, Ron, hello, Ron. Ron is joining us here.
Hi, Ron.
And he said hi to everybody. Hello, Ron. Thanks for joining us. And if you have a pick, you let us know for sure. Like I said, usually we have Cole here. I'm surprised our Marshall person. He's not here today. All right, what's next? What's the next game?
All right, so this next game, I was tossing and turning. I wasn't sure who to pick in this one. It's number 24, Texas at number 13, Kansas State. Honestly, I'm afraid to pick against Kansas State because I picked Oklahoma State last week, and Kansas State didn't even make it a game. They just destroyed them. So because of that, I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think Texas, they have a little more maybe pride than Kansas State. Than Oklahoma State. So I think it'll be a way closer game than the game last week. But I'm gonna go with Kansas State because I'm gonna feel bad if they just destroy Texas and I pick against them. So Kansas State, I'm going to
Kansas State for you.
Even though Texas is favored by 2.5 last time I checked.
I'm going with Texas. I still think that they are just a great team this year compared to all the years that they've been, and I think they're going to finish strong. So I'm picking Texas on this one. Chris, who do you like?
I like Texas in this game. I think they are better than the record says, but hard. I think that this weekend is really hard games to see. So
yes.
Well, and you can see by our picks, we're not in accordance almost in any. Actually, no, we're not in accordance in any game. We're all picking different things, so
which is good.
That tells you how tough this week. So you got Texas. How about you, Matthew? Who you like?
I'm actually surprised that Texas is favored. I think if Texas wins, it's more of an upset. But because I just think it's much better chance for Kansas to win. So I'm picking Kansas State. But
all right,
I could see I could see Texas winning, but I think it would be an upset.
Yeah, well, if you can see, this is what's been weird this year. Texas is number 24. Kansas is number 13. Obviously, by looking at that, it will be an upset. But again, just like last week, teams that are ranked lower or unranked are coming up as favorites over teams that are ranked. I've never seen that so much as this year. That is crazy.
Also, Kansas State's at home. And they're still. Yeah, me too. They have 3 losses. But...
And Kansas State is at home. So again, sometimes these bettors know some inside information. I think I mentioned this during the show last time. There was a game that I was watching, and as soon as the game started, they already knew it was about 7 people, linemen, important people that they were not going to play. And sometimes we don't know those things, but I think some of these insider people know some of those things.
Yeah, for sure.
Certainly something happened last week for what was that team that scored 0 points? Oklahoma State,
yeah.
For Oklahoma State to score 0 points and the other team 49, that just didn't make any sense. Something happened there that nobody knew about. that game just completely surprised
Yeah, that
me.
was that's the biggest surprise probably of the season. Honestly, like that was
they were playing
very
so
weird.
good.
But
All right,
all
what
right,
else? Last one. Oh, we got two more.
all right. So I'll speed it up. So this next game is number 4 Clemson at Notre Dame. Clemson's favored by 4 points. Last time I checked. And Notre Dame, they've been very random. They started off the year terrible, and they've been very up and down. This game will be at Notre Dame, so it'll be tough. I think Clemson will struggle a bit because most of their games they've struggled. They've won, but like they've been like kind of just crawling, like barely making it to their to win the game. And I think this might be another game like that, but I still think Clemson's gonna win. I'd be very surprised if Notre Dame won. So I'm gonna
All
go
right,
with
you go
Clemson.
Clemson. What I think Notre Dame does at this time, I'm gonna be very surprised if this is a blowout. I think Notre Dame is gonna come on top, and it's gonna be probably the upset of the week. So
That would be, yeah.
so I think Notre Dame being at home, they find a way, and Clemson just has a bad day. I'm picking Notre Dame on this one. How about you, Boris? Who do you like?
I'm with you. I pick Notre Dame. I
I'm
don't think that Clemson is that good
Yeah.
as they are ranked. So
I think it's going to be one like the Clemson Syracuse game kind of thing, and I think that Notre Dame has a little more experience and less jitters than Syracuse, and they're just going to pull it off. In unlike Syracuse, that kind of got they shot themselves in the foot pretty much on that game. How about you, Matthew? What do you like?
See, I don't think, kind of like what Boris said, but the opposite. I don't think Notre Dame's as good as they are getting credit for because
Okay,
they've been way too inconsistent.
that's
That's
true.
their home.
that's true.
They're
They
yeah,
are
they're
so up
home,
and down.
and so everything's
Yeah.
pointing to Notre Dame. But given the coaching right now, I would still say Clemson because of the coaching, and Clemson finds a way to win. I'm not saying that
The
they're a
edge,
great team either, but I think
the,
Clemson's going to find a way to win. It'll be a close game, though. It'll be a good one to watch.
the edge goes to the coaching for sure. So that's a good pick with Clemson. I just see like you said, they're very, very, very up and down. But I mean, after they lost to Marshall, they kind of try to fix some things, and they've been a little better. But yeah, in a tight game, you have to go with the better coach, which is the Clemson coach.
Yep.
Good picks, good picks. So wow, again, 50-50. We two of those pick Clemson, two of us pick Notre Dame.
That's good. When we all
Interesting.
pick something, it usually doesn't turn out.
And our last highlight of
Okay,
the
our
games.
last highlighted game is two teams that are kind of gone under the radar, but they're still ranked. Is 21 Wake Forest at 22 NC State. Wake Forest is favored, but I'm disappointed in Wake Forest. I don't understand how you allow 35 points in one quarter. I didn't like that at all. And NC State, they're at home. So and they began to pick it up. They've been playing a lot better, even though they have a backup quarterback. So I think I'm gonna go NC State because really I'm disappointed in Wake Forest. Like that was kind of ridiculous.
NC State. I like Wake Forest. I know that they messed up that, but I've seen them play this year, and they're a great team. And are they still? I mean that ACC is pretty tight with some teams still, or no?
Well, Clemson is really so okay. So there's two sides, and on Clemson's side, they basically have that handled in the bag because on that side's NC State, Wake Forest, Syracuse, and they beat all those teams, and FSU, and they beat all those teams, and they're undefeated. So that side's pretty handled, and the other side is North Carolina, and that side's getting it's getting kind of like really in North Carolina's favor. Like they're kind of pulling away on that one. So yeah, it's kind of
I like Wake Forest. I really like how they're playing, and I think they'll take NC State on this game. So I'm picking Wake Forest. How about you, Boris? Who do you like?
I pick Wake Forest.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a very tight game.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Matthew?
Yeah, I mean, Wake Forest had that blip, if you could call it that, but I think they've been a really good team this season and much generally more consistent than a lot of others. So I think Wake Forest is actually going to win pretty handily. Maybe not a
Okay.
blowout, but I think they're going to pull it off easily.
All right. So we have 3 for Wake Forest, and you have NC State. And that's it for the highlighted games. So these are the ones that count for average of picking. Ron Cracker says, my wife and kids are the football fans. Spouses and dogs are bringing chaos for the OU game. I'm therefore more for the food and snacks. So there you go, Ron. Hey, watching football and eating food is good. Today here we're gonna have the soup that Lady Fire, my wife, made, and actually that's what's gonna be on her channel today at 3 p.m. And it's this spicy spicy corn chowder soup. So we're gonna be having that, and she also makes some meatloaf and mashed potatoes. I mean, we're gonna have a ball here today for sure. So
all right,
it's all about eating food and watching football. Yeah, so if you guys like soup with a little spice, watch Lady Fire's Kitchen channel. That's what she's making today at 3 there. All right, so let's do for some honorable mentions. What do you got? We don't have to pick on this ones. We'll go through them.
So the first one is Florida versus Texas A&M. I mean, they honestly both teams have been disappointing, but Texas A&M has been more disappointing. They've been very disappointing, but I think it'll be a good game.
Can we win one? One?
We should win. If we don't win this one, I'll be disappointed. Then I'll be disappointed. So far, it's our first year, so I'm not that disappointed, but we got to win this game.
I'm concerned that we've been playing so many games at home in a row that I don't know how we're going to be, on the road.
Well, we played Tennessee on the road, and we did pretty good against Tennessee. We could have won that game.
Well, hopefully we'll get things right. If we can get things right, I think we can beat Texas A&M.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? We're not counting this one, but tell us your opinion there, Boris and Matthew. Go ahead, Boris.
Florida can win this game. I think Aggies are so hard to predict. They can play.
I know.
They are also they can do anything, but
that's right.
I think you guys win this game.
Talk about what you say, unreliable or inconsistent. That is the Gators.
That's been the Gators. No, not this year. It's been the Gators for the last 13 years. We've been unreliable, inconsistent. It's been pain to be a Gator fan.
You can hear the frustration.
One day, I hope. Oh my goodness! So I just want to win this game.
Matthew, give us some insight in this Florida Gator Texas A&M game.
I think it's going to be a tough game for both teams. Like, I don't think anyone's going to play great. I don't know, but I think the edge is going to be Texas A&M because they're at home. I would go with them, honestly. I'd rather see Florida win, but I think Texas A&M might just because they're home.
All right,
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They're so inconsistent that
I don't know.
I don't know what to pick. But again, if Florida were to play the quarterback were to play the way he has the skill to play, I think they can beat anybody. But
if he played that way, we probably have one loss. But he doesn't always play that way. So we have now we're 4-4.
And I think the play calling is now tailored to his inconsistency, because sometimes where they could take a risk and make some passes, then they call very, very conservative running plays.
They're like, nope,
because they don't want an interception close to the end zone or something like that. Yeah. So that just messes up the play calling, which is a shame with somebody that's so skilled as him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
All right, go on the next one.
Okay, so the next one is it's just an honorable mention is Minnesota at Nebraska. So I think that'll be a good game. Minnesota's been good at times, and other times they've been disappointing. But I think overall they're a good team. So that'd be a fun game to watch. I'd pick Minnesota because, like I said, I think they're the better team. But I mean, we're not counting.
I think except for that bad game they had, they've been playing great. So yeah. How do you like your Minnesota, Boris, this week?
Yeah, I like it. I think Minnesota will win this one.
Yeah, I think they should.
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you seen how Minnesota games there?
So sad that they missed their season earlier, but I think this one they can win.
Yeah, I think Minnesota too. Definitely, they've been playing well for the most part, and Nebraska's just a big disappointment.
That's true. Yeah,
I
they
know.
usually are. Yeah.
They did better once they had a new coach, right?
Yeah. Once they fired their coach, they were better, but still disappointing.
Yeah. All right, what do you got?
All right. Next is did you want to include the Oklahoma games now that we have an Oklahoma fan?
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Baylor at Oklahoma. Both teams they were favored to be in the Big 12 championship to start the year, and it's been disappointing for both teams, but they're both turning it around and having solid seasons. I think it's going to be a good game. Like no one's going to be ranked out of this. No one's going to go really anywhere.
Just for bragging rights, man.
But yeah, they're a good team, so it'd be good football. I think so. I think.
Yeah, we have a
fun game.
Ron was saying how they're all watching the Oklahoma game. It's gonna be tough because Oklahoma hasn't been playing well at all. And Baylor is a tough cookie for sure. You know.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched any of the Oklahoma or Baylor games there?
Yeah, I think Oklahoma. I mean, they started off strong. They were playing really well, and then they got blown out. Who was it, by Texas or some team a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I don't think they've recovered from that. And Baylor's been really good too. They're not perfect, but I don't know. I think my money would be on Baylor.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's sad to say, but it's Oklahoma.
I say Oklahoma this one, but that's one of those difficult games to look.
I'm starting to feel bad for Oklahoma. So Troy there is saying go Buffs, and Oregon 7-1 plays Colorado 1-7.
Big difference.
Anything can happen. Of course, I would be extremely surprised if Colorado pulls this off. I think Oregon's going to win this one, but hey, anything can happen. Anything can happen on that.
That'd be a huge upset. I would like if Colorado did that. I think that would be very funny. So
that would be a huge upset. Is an understatement. Yeah, there's no way Oregon's going to lose.
No way.
So Matthew says no way Oregon's going to lose. How about you, Boris? Do you think Colorado has any chance? They're at home, right?
No,
Are they Colorado?
No, they have no chance.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know.
There you go. So those are the games that, when we all say that they have no chance, that we come and there's a complete upset. That would be very interesting.
I want to see what they're favored by.
I want to see if they're home, because usually that gives them a little bit of the the edge, and then
they're at home, but
we see polls coming down and everything. So
Oregon's favored by 31 though.
31 point favorite. That'll be crazy. That'll be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about the spread there, but playing at home,
maybe a little more.
The spread is huge, but I guess it's going with the record and how they're playing. And Oregon really, since that loss to Georgia at the beginning, they have played much better. I mean, the quarterback. Again, quarterbacks are so important. The quarterback has played so much better. So, but Troy says we can do it. You know what? I'm going to be pulling for you. We're going to put that game in one of the 3 TVs, and I want to see that upset, because really, I don't care about Oregon this year. I think they're so inconsistent that if they went to the playoffs,
they just get blown out again.
They'll just get blown out on the first game. So I don't care for them to go to the playoffs, really.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
All right. Really quickly, number 19, Tulane, who's only lost 1 game, is going against Tulsa. I just wanted to include that game because Tulane's the green wave going against, I think, the blue hurricane. So I found that entertaining.
When he mentioned that to me, I'm like, I don't know anybody care about those. I'm sure they have fans.
Just because of their mascots.
You just want the blue versus the green.
Yeah.
All right.
And not just that, a wave versus a hurricane. Like, that's, I don't know.
Now, of course, Tulane has been playing very well to their defense. They actually have been playing.
They beat Kansas State earlier in the year.
No, I've seen. Crazy. They have actually played. That's why they're ranked 19. They have really played very, very well. Have you guys seen Tulane play this year?
No, I haven't really followed either of those teams.
Yeah,
I watched one Tulane game. It was Wednesday or something like that. If I remember right, I'm not sure. But I pick Tulane in this one.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd pick Tulane as
That
well.
game is
Yeah.
at 12, so it's gonna come up right as we're done. And I mean, if there's plenty of other better games happening at 12, but they're a good team. They're a good team. If you watch them, you'll be a little impressed of how they play. And you have another honorable mention here.
All right, yeah, this is the last honorable mention, and then we'll go quickly on the upset alert is number 18, Oklahoma State, the forgotten Oklahoma State. They're still ranked. They're still back in the rankings versus Kansas, and Kansas is actually favored at home. So I don't know what happened to Oklahoma State if their morale just went down, but
I think
Kansas
that's why they
is favored.
favored
Yeah,
because they didn't score. I mean, Oklahoma State didn't score, so the betting people say, but they're only favored by a point, so really
yeah,
it doesn't matter. Really.
still, I mean, I don't know.
You could see Oklahoma State being surprised again, and it'll be a shame because they were playing so good. Actually, I was picking them in almost every game they played. So.
Yeah, me too.
So, what are some upset alerts for this week?
Upset alerts. I'm just gonna go over three. Are first Liberty at Arkansas. The reason I'm putting this is because Liberty is very underrated. They've only had one loss, and their one loss was to Wake Forest by 1 point, and they beat BYU, who was good at some point. Now they just went downhill. But the only problem is they're at Arkansas, so I don't know. I think that could be an upset alert just because Liberty's been playing well. I don't think it'll happen, but
well, this can actually give them a lot of oomph because they will be beating an SEC
team. Wow,
So,
yeah. That'd be a big deal.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would be a big deal for them. So, all right, what else you got there? I see
right.
James Madison there.
I just want to throw that one because James Madison was ranked at some point, and they're playing Louisville, and Louisville might have a big head after destroying Wake Forest. So why not? Why not put that one there? But I don't know about that.
I'd be very surprised if they can. I think Louisville will destroy them again. We could be wrong. James Madison was undefeated until last week or the week before.
Then
Yeah,
they just started losing. But
I'm with you on that. Louisville's going to win big.
Yeah,
Louisville
I think
played
they will,
so
yeah.
good last week. I mean, it was just impressive.
They're a good team. I mean, they're not a bad team, honestly. Louisville.
All right, you got two more there.
Yes. So these next two are actually important. They actually have implications. So number 17, North Carolina at Virginia. North Carolina right now, like I said, they're the front runner for the other side of the ACC.
Yeah,
And I don't know if you watch their games, they always look like they have a chance of blowing it because last time I checked, their offense is ranked in the top 10 and their defense was ranked in the bottom 10. So when you have a team that you have a chance of blowing a game or two.
Good
So
Lord. Sounds like the Gators, but both at the bottom.
yeah, both at the bottom or both could be at the top. You never know. So yeah, I think North Carolina will win that one, but it's at Virginia. Virginia is just really bad, but
definitely an upset alert.
Definitely an upset alert.
Yeah, the Virginia has the
you never know.
Has the strength to just mess up their run this year.
Yeah.
And then you have Michigan State there.
Michigan State.
Controversy Michigan
Oh,
State
my
after
goodness.
they did that fighting in the locker. I mean, on the way back.
Yeah, Michigan State's just a disaster. They started off 2-0, and I think they've lost ever since. So very disappointing. But they're at Illinois. Illinois
Illinois is a great team.
Their defense is amazing. Like they've looked really good, but they're the front runner for the other side of the Big Ten West, and they're ranked. I think they'll win this game. I think they'll probably destroy Michigan State.
Me too.
Because of their defense, but it's an upset alert. Like if Illinois loses this game, then it'll be another for example, the Big Ten West right now. Michigan State's in the big lead, but if they lose this game, it's gonna be a mess again. So.
Yeah, I don't know the particulars of which players got suspended, but anytime there's controversy like that and players suspended, that affects the team. So
yeah.
I think I would have picked
8 players got suspended.
I think I would have picked Illinois regardless, but even now, even much more. I think that
now by more points. Yeah.
Illinois,
you guys agree?
Illinois for sure.
Yeah. Illinois definitely.
Sparta sucks.
So we got your picks here, guys. We went through a lot of games. There's definitely a lot of implications this week, especially among those top teams there. If whoever wins from the Georgia, Tennessee, pretty much has the the playoffs in their hands.
Yeah, they're the front runner for the East, and then Alabama versus LSU, they're front runner for the West. So
Yeah,
big week for the SEC this week.
yeah.
Huge.
And
On the
I
Clemson
can't
side,
remember. I can't remember any week that is this hard to pick.
Yeah, this
was
is
really
tough.
difficult.
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen Boris really struggling this week. Usually Boris just says the pick right away, but this time he had to think on about 3 or 4 of them.
No,
So
yeah.
it's a tough one. And games like the Clemson game, having if Notre Dame wins, obviously that hurts their playoff chances
Yeah,
big time. So there's definitely some games here that could just change the playoff picture altogether today for sure.
And honestly, North Carolina, they only have 1 loss. If they win all their games and beat Clemson in the championship, they'll go to the playoffs, which will just be very surprising. But there's no reason why they shouldn't go,
Exactly.
So
yeah, exactly.
that'd be insanity.
So thanks, Troy, for joining us. Thanks, Ron and Matthew and Boris. Willie didn't make it. Willie said he was going to try to wake up from the National Mafia to make it today. He said when we're starting, he's usually just trying to wake up. So we start a little later. But Willie, are you still in bed? Where are you? Are you listening to us? And Jose was here for a little bit. I don't know if he's still there in the background. I don't think that he's putting on the helmet just yet.
No,
Right.
they're usually late.
They're super late.
They've been late this year, so they'll probably put it on in 10 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Have you guys noticed that? They used to put that helmet on. He makes it speak right at 11:58, 11:59, and now it's like 12 something the time that he puts it on. They're
Yeah,
always
it's kind of
running behind.
annoying because games start at noon. So
Yes. Who
surprised
came
if
up
they
with
go
that?
over.
Is that on purpose?
I would think
Yeah,
so.
I know. Sometimes I just watch it on the phone because I'm already into the game that I want to watch. For
yeah,
sure.
the game's already happened. You're like, oh, he put on the helmet. It's like it's too late. Like
Well,
you're waiting.
yeah. Ronnie's saying, "Wake up, Willie! Get in here." Well, thank you again, guys. We'll turn it off. Thank you, Matthew, for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Let's see.
Great being here.
Next week, I don't think we're gonna we might have one. We'll see. I'll let you guys know during the week. I'm gonna be in Disney World next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So and next week is also my anniversary with Lady Fire. So I have a pretty busy week. But we'll see. I might do it from a distance early, and if we do it, it will definitely be really early in the morning. So, but I'll let you guys know and see what happens. If not, if you want to run the show by yourself, I know how I can set you up. So.
All right. I mean, the Flat Cup is the main star of the show. So
No, actually, it's you because you have all the stats.
I mean.
And we really appreciate. I think it's more fun when we have more people here.
No,
so,
yeah, for sure.
So if we skip next week, then for sure the following week we'll be back on. So hope you can join us if you have the time. Okay. Thank you, Matthew and Boris. Really appreciate you being here. Until next time.
All
Good luck to
right.
your team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Have a good weekend,
All right,
everyone.
All right, Boris.
All right.